The breadline. Its row of downcast, disillusioned men. Unlucky creatures who have found that life holds nothing but bitterness for them. The breadline. Last resort of the starving vagrant.
The breadline. Its row of downcast, disillusioned men. Unlucky creatures who found that life holds nothing but bitterness for them. The breadline. Last resort of the starving vagrant.
So begins the reign of the Superman, the first story in science fiction 3, written by Jerry under the pseudonym Herbert S. Fine, billed as another thrilling story by the writer of Snaring the Master. But it's not Jerry's prose about the urban poor waiting in line for food that's the most vivid thing about the story. It's Joe's design. To the far left of the double-page spread is a large bald man in a menacing pose taking up most of the space. To the right is a decorative cityscape at night under a large moon. The title dominates the top of both pages, hand-created in an Art Deco style. Joe had amazing instincts about typography, as would be witnessed with the Superman logo a few years later. Jerry would get Joe to draw pictures directly onto the stencil using a stylus. Joe would leave gaps for Jerry to place his type. It was an inventive way to duplicate the layout of a magazine on a mimeograph. There are 2 small boxes at the bottom of both pages where Jerry was able to type his opening paragraphs. It's a gorgeously designed work that takes a spread from a high-end fiction magazine like Argosy and makes it work on a mimeograph. Jerry's purple prose, probably literally printed in purple, is ripped from the headlines of that awful period before Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated as president in March 1933, when the Great Depression was at its worst. As Jerry wrote in 1980,
Like so many people living in those discouraging times, the thought of breadlines and possibly ending up in them haunted me. Living during such a painful time, worried about money and survival, it is understandable that as wish fulfillment, I created a being who in his abruptly miraculous transformation into a Superman had no difficulty at all getting rich quick through the use of his amazing superpowers. Since I did not come from rich parents, it is rather understandable that as a Depression-era teenager, I made the villain of this wonder tale someone whose parents had been wealthy.
With a contemptuous sneer on his face, Professor Smalley watched the wretched unfortunates file past him. To him, who had come of rich parents and had never been forced to face the rigors of life, the miserableness of these men seemed deserved. It appeared to him that if they had the slightest ambition at all, they could easily lift themselves from their terrible rut.